Today we are reviewing the JS Big Baron. Do you want to show us what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, it's all really a really simple sort of design, like really shallow concaves, and there's sort of not a whole lot going on as far as, you know, lots of rock or lots of concave or lots of transition from single to double or anything like that, or even transitioning to a V in the tail. You can see it's like really full forward, and then just, you know, quite straight lines, and then tapers back into that really tapered pulled-in tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go to like the profile, you can also see that as well. You know, sort of those straighter lines again.
I noticed the rails are quite low on it, and it's quite, for a 6.8, you know, it's quite thin in the tail and nose.
Yeah, it comes back to, like, you know, it will hold its rail in the face, you know, and stick because of that tapered out tail and stuff like that. And, you know, you can get on and hold, but it just won't do it in a tight arc. Just early turning is just off. It's kind of pivoting off the twin fins rather than sort of turning off its outline so much more the rocker.
Yeah.
Looks to me like those fins are probably about 10.5 inches up.
Do you think they're a little bit more pushed in than?
They're definitely, they're quite far in from the rail. Keeping those fins close together again, like, it's going to suit that down the line feel a lot more. Yeah, I've heard plenty of feedback on them, and plenty of feedback on the twin pin, you know, this kind of style of board, which is, a lot of manufacturers have got a variation on it. I mean, they're kind of quite interesting board. They are pretty functional and probably like on a longer point break style wave where you're drawing longer lines, it's definitely better suited to that rather than a bowly, a punchy, a beach break sort of way. Like a lot of crews say, it goes really good. I mean, Raglan's a bit bigger because it's got that longer, facier, you know, draw along the line.
Yeah.
But maybe in some of those sort of East Coast beach breaks, which, you know, a lot of people end up in them, because of the straightness of the rocker and the straightness of the outline, they can be a little bit unforgiving. Probably not the greatest board to learn on because of that, them being, even though they'll paddle well and they're loose, but the flatness of them makes them a little bit trickier to row. There's sort of recovering from injury surfers kind of like them a bit because they've got a bit of paddle power, they can get into waves early and, you know, with a bung shoulder and bung knee or whatever, and not popping up as quick. But they're shortboarders, so they all like that kind of loose feeling. And
there's kind of a lot of dads seem to be on them.
Yeah. Old and getting slower and getting injured. Yeah.
Should we have a little bit of a look at the actual construction of the board? I think it's I think the board is a PU with a epoxy skin. It's pretty light, for its size.
Yeah.
It seems to have a high density foam, couple of high density foam strings, would you say?
Yeah, it's hard to know what those that sort of triple is.
And maybe just a conventional stringer.
It's definitely been split and re-glued. There's something in there because you can feel where it's dented.
Yeah, it's kind of collapsing.
It's collapsing around it.
It's probably a little bit hard to see through. He's got a pretty just
to get a
amount of wax in there.
To get a light board, you're glassing with epoxy, using epoxy resin, like it's pretty much about 30% stronger than a polyester resin.
Yeah. So
you're definitely going to get more strength. It looks like it's got that little skinny little carbon tape on it, maybe. Or is that just I guess the weight of the board, it's kind of got quite a bit of denting, but
it does. I mean, Campbell surfed it a lot, so
yeah, it's certainly an acceptable amount of wear and tear for the amount it's been served.
Just saying, he does actually putting it in there, but he does love the board.
Yeah.
He's got and has three of them.
Yeah.
So.
My experience in general, JS's quality of manufacture is generally good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for a fact they've got a good quality control program in the factories. yeah, we see a lot through the repair shop and stuff, and it's very rare to see one that's got any issues.
Yeah, I mean, this board's probably, I'm guessing it's about 2 years old, so it's,
Yeah. One thing that's
for a
smart,
guy who's a good surfer and surfs a lot.
whatever we've got going on with this triple stringer and mounting those the plugs in those side stringers is smart, because rolling twin fins over is a big issue.
Mm. Alright, here we go. It's definitely a lot of board out the front.
Yeah, see that rail and that tail shape is certainly helping it hold a nice line in the barrel.
Yeah. Oh, I'm amazed they can hang 5 on it. What do you reckon that is?
That full nose,
Yeah,
quite flat under there, like that low smooth entry.
yeah.
But he definitely would be able to do those kind of little tighter turns on the longer board. But you can sort of see he's a good surfer. But you can see he's got really good technique, but he's making lots of little tweaks to stop that rail catching up in the nose.
Mm.
And all these turns, they're not really rail turns, they're turned off the flat, but I mean it's
Mm.
for those certain kinds of waves, and being able to just pivot it around real easy like that, you can see why it's a popular board. Lots of good feedback on it.
Yeah. Alright, we don't need to watch a cat food in it. Oh, okay, so should we give it a rating?
Are we rating out of 5 or 10 or
I don't know.
one
Rating,
being,
what do you
one
think?
being complete shit? 10 being the best board ever invented.
Yeah.
For a beginner, it's even though it's kind of loose and paddle well in that, it's the nature of the straightness of everything and the thin rails. A beginner will paddle in. It's not what's wide, but that narrow tail's making it sort of unstable as well. I'm giving it like a 3 or 4 out of 10 for a beginner.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like it's not some of those you get everyday board, but it'd be a real good board to change it up when the conditions are right. It'd be a fun board to ride, or in a bit of a point break, or down the line wave it's a bit crowded, go out and be a menace.
Alright, sounds like Caleb Menace rating. GC's going harsh, he's not giving away points.
But I think
Points easily.
for a good surfer and for that sort of, not novelty board, but other board to ride something different and challenge your surfing a bit, it's a good board, really good board.
Okay, so Jace isn't going to block here. Alright, cheers.